you, Graham. Good afternoon to you as well, Sammy. Thank you. Before I start, I promise Ralph that I'm going to be short, so I'm going to have two slides. The first slide is going to be about breaking down the trade flow on the export and the import side, and the second slide will be about where our views, the sector that's going to grow, and some sectors going to remain flat for 2014. So look on the export side. You know, as Vietnam had closed in 2013, a great year. They closed at about 133 billion dollar of export. Two major sectors that came out of it, which is electronic and textile and garments. These two sectors generate about $50 billion export for the country. So that represents about 50%, more or less. The Vietnam still continuing to export into two great countries, which is the EU and the US, where the US is contribute about $25 billion export to Vietnam. I just want to pay attention on the two sectors I think is going to grow in 2014, which is the garment textile and the telephones, which is the electronics. We see there's a lot of inquiries from Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, Asian country coming in to set up the more or less on the textile knitting. I think that what they do is they're getting ready for the TPP when it's ready. Hopefully soon. I think that TPP has been this discussion for a number of years already. So I think a lot of that investor is going to come in, and these plant, the investment for these plants is starting around 10 to 15 million dollar. Some can go to up to 100 million dollar. I know Sammy is really like this sector because he got a good project from this company. So I believe these two sectors is going to be grow in the next 2014. Coffee, I think it's going to be, 2013 have been a really rough for this industry because the price has been dropped about 40%. Today, I think the three months contracts about 16 or 1700 per tons on Robusta. 16 months ago is about 1,200. So it's been a rough for the coffee. As you can see that the industry has also been facing with a lot of fraud and scandal and a lot of tax scandals. So I think there's going to be a consolidating in the coffee sector. We see there's a lot of joint venture coming up, I think from Korea and Japan coming to partner with the Vietnam to buy coffee. As you're aware, if you're going to be a coffee drinker, as you know, Japan is the number one. They always buy the highest grade of coffee, which is the we call it R1, R4, and R5, which is mainly for production in food, chocolate and things like that. So if you're going to be going to Japan, please drink the coffee. Is high grade coffee. Now look at the on the import. This is the first year that Vietnam come out. They had a $100 million trade surplus. Two major sector continue to be a major import will be the electronic and the machinery equipment. I think there's a machinery equipment is going to do with a lot of some of the old factories upgrading, and then some of the new sector that come in, which is related to the electronic, and then the garment and the sector side. I think that's going to be the two heavily rely on the import side. On the, I'm going to go to the next slide, where our view is going to be in the 2014. Again, the garment sector. Sorry, before I start that, I put in a little bit net profit margin, which is we measured. We took a whole bunch of company. We measured their profitability. This is not our bank profit margin, so believe me, we don't scam you in any way. So look at the F&B. I think it's going to be healthy. That's going to be related more to the FMCG, which is Nicole and everyone touched upon about. So it's going to be a growth there. So we're going to be very strong appetite under those sector. The government textile, there's going to be a major investment. So there's going to be calling for a lot of um, term loans, up to 5 to 7 years. So these are the sector that we're going to go. We'll have a very strong appetite go after. The petroleum retail. The reason we company that there's about 11 company out there. So I think this is going to be another strong sector to go after. The on the plastic manufacturing packaging, I think this is looking at the supply chain to the FMCG, like the Unilever, the Procter Gamble's, the Nestle, all of that is going to be growing. I think that this is sector is going to continue to do well because there's a lot of that onshore production. Canon and all those Toshiba is making all these digital camera parts in Vietnam, and that's if you're going to open your digital camera, a lot of the insides are all plastic. So that's going to be generate a great revenue for the industry. Now, I think the two industries that's going to remain flat is going to be the automobile and then the furniture. The automobile, I think we saw that they came out in 2011. They went through a little bit challenging time. 2013, they come out ahead. So I think this year I think they're going to remain flat. But there's going to be a lot of more of import cars going to come in through because the tax is coming down, especially on the luxury car. I think I'm in discussion with one the company, and we're looking to do some financing for them. But I think it's going to be in the market. 2-3 months from now, you will see a Lexus dealer coming to Vietnam. This is directly Lexus from Japan. So a lot of time you see in the past that the Lexus has been imported by the private importers. So today, I mean, in 2-3 months now, you will see that Lexus. I think there was a discussion talking about, and there was inquiry about Rolls Royce coming to Vietnam as well. So there's a lot of luxury brand that are coming through in Vietnam in the next, I would say, the next 12 to 15 months. But again, the automobile sector is continuing going to be, I would say, relatively flat for us. But there's a strong appetite to go into the lending. 2014, what is it going to look like? I believe the export will grow to about $160 billion, coming from $130 billion. Import, I have a little mixed feeling. I think for the domestic consumption is going to be hurt a bit. So, but on the import for the export sector is going to grow. So I'm going to get a mixed feeling. But again, I think in 2014, I think it's going to be a more trade plus for Vietnam. Thank you.